All right, the book of Exodus, chapter 11, verse 7. But against any of the children of Israel shall not a dog move his tongue against man or beast, that ye may know how the Lord doth put a difference between the Egyptians and Israel.
So it says that the Lord put the difference between the Egyptians or the Africans and the Israelites. Nice. So we may look alike, dark skin, nappy hair, all that, but we are different. We have a different spirit than the Africans. Wow. So that passage shows that the Israelites are black, because we might be mistaken for them, but because we resemble each other in some ways or the others, but we are two different people.
Salakia, we also want to make note of the fact that in these last we are in this is Bible prophecy being revealed right now. You know, I want to make note that this is Bible prophecy being revealed right now. That the information that was once hidden is now being brought forth in open, and we're able to dialogue about it now. And I just want to bring this scripture out in Lamentations, chapter 4, and verse 22. The punishment of thine iniquity is accomplished, O daughter of Zion. He will no more carry thee away into captivity. He will visit thine iniquity, O daughter of Edom. He will discover thy sins. So all the things that happened to us is no longer going to happen to us. We're now going to be given this information. The Lord is going to open our eyes and our ears to the sheep, to the elect sheep, and we're going to prophesy, and we're going to tell people the truth of what's really going on. So this Bible prophecy being revealed. These Russian icons coming to America, Babylon the Great. You know, they try to put it in a place like Clinton, Mass, thinking that we won't get it, but all praises by the grace and the power of the Most High. This information was given to us, and we was able to see these great works of art,
hallelujah,
free of charge. All praises to the Most High. You know,
all praises.
Yeah, I want to land back on what Yakim said, that this truth is coming out, that they cannot keep it hidden forever. This is Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 14. For the earth shall be filled with the knowledge of the glory of Yahweh, as the waters cover the sea. So every day we are finding more and more evidence showing that we are the Most High's chosen people, and not who they projected as. And the people in power, Esau, and the other nations, can't keep this secret hidden no more. This truth is coming out, and more people are waking up to it.
hallelujah.
And just like Brother Yakim said, our curses are ending and their curses is beginning. And as you can see, the curses that were falling upon us are starting to now fall upon them. And you can see that in the book of Deuteronomy 30:7. And the Lord thy God will put all these curses upon thine enemies and them that hate thee, which persecuted us. So you could clearly see, slowly but surely, all these curses are falling upon all our enemies.
In what ways are we seeing the curses fall on our enemies? Let's expound on
Opioid.
Well, the drug problems, they're losing jobs.
They're building a home and they can't maintain it.
Right.
You know, like you said, we will build a house and shall not dwell in it. That's what's happening to them. They're purchasing homes, and due to the housing bubble, the housing crash of a few years ago, we have many Edomites that are on drugs, that are homeless, and are on the streets right now, and that led to their drug addiction. You know, so the curses that will befalling us is befalling them, and the fact that they've never had to live in such conditions, they've never experienced anything like that, they can't handle it, so a lot of them are committing suicide, which is on the rise too as well.
And some of them are killing their parents. They're fighting amongst each other.
Causing mass suicides.
So we see our enemies falling right before our eyes.
See, like, I just want to bring this precept out about the information that they tried to hide. They're not going to be able to, because it's Bible prophecy that the Lord is going to reveal what they tried to hide. You know, as the scriptures say, what is done in the dark must come to light. But we're going to get to, this is the book of Nahum, chapter 3, verse 5.
Bring it out.
Behold, I am against thee, said the Lord of hosts, and I will discover thy skirts upon thy face, and I will show the nations thy nakedness, and the kingdoms thy shame. So all the other nations are coming against this wicked nation, nation called Edom. They're rising up against Edom. You can see what's happening in the so-called Middle East. You can see what's happening with our conflicts with North Korea, with China, with Russia. And what's happening is that the European Union is falling apart. We're no longer friends with our so-called friends, who was once our enemies, are now making friends with our so-called friends. Russia is now in agreement with China.
Sorry.
Yeah, what you gonna say?
But the Russia is going back to that old Soviet Union feel. You know?
Yeah, actually they're going to be greater than they was before, because now they're in talks with, they are now partners with China, which is partners with North Korea. We're not even considering Libya and Egypt. Those are all, and Syria.
That ain't me.
Somebody's chirping.
Right, talking about the BRICS coalition,
Exactly.
where they're building a gold-backed currency, which is going to put the dollar out of value because there's nothing back in the American dollar because it's fiat money.
Exactly.
So Russia's building strong coalitions and position themselves to be the next power.
Yeah, every other country is trying to see that the philosophies of these Europeans is no good. It's all lies. It's all based on lies.
That wind that democracy.
The nations have drunk of the wine and are mad. So yeah, that's what's happening right now, you know?
How you want that precept?
Yeah.
I think it's Revelation 11:18. I got a Revelation on 11:18.
All right, so
It says, "And the nations were angry, and thy wrath is come, and the time of the dead, that they should be judged."
Salakia. So the time of the dead would be us. We are the dead that are now waking up. Continue.
Come. And thou shouldest give reward unto thy servants, the prophets,
Fine.
and to the saints,
Who are us?
and them that fear thy name,
And those that fear thy name, those that keep his commandments.
small and great,
All right, small and great.
and should destroy them which destroy the earth.
And who is the one that's destroyed the earth? The so-called wicked. Esau. You know?
Putting chemtrails in the air, making us eat genetically modified foods.
Yeah.
Lead-laced water.
Yep.
Right, you just saw the case in Flint where they haven't fixed that yet, which happened years ago. Now there's a case in New York, New Jersey. Newark, New Jersey.
Oh,
Yeah,
dang.
yeah.
Where,
And in
they're,
Florida too, as well too.
In Florida too?
As well, yes. And also, there's they talk about the Brazilian rainforest that's on fire right now.
Right.
You know, so for farmland, which is not sustainable. You know, but what they never talk about is that in the Congo, there's an even larger rainforest that's been burning longer than the Brazilian, and it's still burning today.
Wow.
Has not been outed. So you know, that provides about 30% of the oxygen on the planet. That's not a small amount.
Amazon.
They say Congo's getting on fire too.
That's what I was talking about.
And
the
how
Congo.
does a rainforest catch on fire? A
A
rainforest. That's supposed to be
rainforest.
constantly wet,
Yeah.
constantly moist.
Exactly.
So you know that's a Esau.
Esau.
Give me a Malachi 1:4. The Bible warns about the white man being Esau. And it's sad that our churches don't teach that. They have us believing that Esau is God's chosen people. That's
1:4?
contrary. Yes.
This is the book of Malachi, chapter 1, verse 4. Whereas Edom said, "We are impoverished, but we will return and build desolate places. Thus says the Lord of hosts. They shall build, but I will throw down, and they shall call them the border of wickedness."
Wait, so what should white man be called?
The border of wickedness.
The border of wickedness.
And the people against who the Lord has indignation for here.
And that's what this white supremacy society does. They promote wickedness. They say it's okay for a man to marry a man, or a woman to marry a woman. You do not. It's a sin for you to try to discipline and give correction to your kids.
Overwork the land.
Overwork the land. They break up the family structure where they give you lower wages, so the mom and dad have to work to make ends meet.
Well, they're natural born thieves. That's all they are. I got a precept for that. Got John 10:10. The thief cometh not but for to steal, to kill, and destroy. That's all they do throughout their whole history. They steal, they kill, and destroy everything. From animals to the ecosystem to everything in it. They destroy it.
That's true.
But you're gonna get it. You reap what you sow, my man.
You reap what
It's
you
coming
sow. That's
in
true.
due time. All in the hands of Yahweh Bahashim.
And the thing
Yahweh
is,
Shai.
the thing is, they have a wicked pride about them. You know, that's another marker that shows who they are as the wicked. You know.
Shalakia, precept.
Go ahead.
Obadiah 1 and 2. Behold, Heidi made thee small among the heathens. Thou art greatly despised. Esau is greatly despised.
Come.
America is a lot of Arabic countries don't like the so-called Edom. Even like other Edomite countries, like Russia, like even some Eastern European countries don't like America. Even like in Cuba, you go, they're always talking about, oh, America, so-called my country, where I was born. They was talking about America. Why is America this? America is the wicked. They even say that with their own mouth. Continue. The pride of thine heart has deceived thee.
God.
Thou that dwellest in the cliffs of the rocks, whose habitation is high.
Salakia, who wants to live in a higher building than Esau? Look at the skyscrapers that they build today. You know, they say that now there's a skyscraper. I'm not sure what state it's in. It's now the largest, the highest habitation on the planet Earth. You know, like you can rent a condo there now. Purchase a condo in this building that's supposed to be so large. You know, it's like supposed to reach into the clouds. You know. I actually was reading about an article about it on Facebook the other day too. It's not open for business to come live. Who can afford that?
So overall, we had a great experience.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what? I was a little disappointed too because a lot of the I wanted to mention one thing. There was one iconic picture in that whole museum. There was no doubt it was a Judah. It was a depiction of Mary and Joseph, the nativity scene. And where was it located? Anybody remember?
Southern
In the dark.
It was
in the dark.
It was in the dark.
Yes,
in a
on the
corner,
third floor.
in like the only corner
Far,
on the
far.
bottom floor, far in the
Oh,
corner.
on the bottom floor?
If you didn't look, you wouldn't have seen it.
Yeah.
But we have a picture of him sent to Mikael, so when he does the video, hopefully he can input
Are
it.
you talking about the one that was like they cleaned half of it?
No, it was like
No,
this.
it was in the
like
back.
this
There's
big.
another one that's in a corner too.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Like there's no.
Like that you can't. Like it's not
You
even.
know it's a Judah.
Doesn't even
Because
look like it's part
he
of
had
it.
he had the hair of wool and the beard of wool. And what they did sometimes is that it would be a clean shaven face with a woolly hair. Like the angels didn't have beards. That's one thing I noticed too.
Oh
The angels had clean shaven faces.
yeah. Yeah, that's true.
No beards.
No beards.
Angels,
But they had woolly
angels
hair.
don't grow
Yeah, They
hair.
have woolly hair. Oh, that was interesting. I never
Hallelujah.
heard something like that,
I wanna
but
bring
it
this
was
out
in the-
too.
it was like-
Oh, wait, we gotta bring out another one.
This is Hosea chapter 1, verse 9. Then said the Most High, call his name Lo-Ami, for ye are not my people, and I will not be your God. Yet the number of the children of Israel shall be as the sand of the sea, which cannot be measured nor numbered. And it shall come to pass that in the place where it said unto them, ye are not my people, there shall be said unto them, ye are
You
the sons of the living God.
Hallelujah.
So in America, we're not recognized as God's chosen people. We're recognized as bywords and proverbs, black, Negro,
Wow.
Hispanic, maybe we're called everything except
Shame.
Israelites. So when the Most High comes and does his thing, we're going to be recognized as God's chosen people and the true Israelites according to the Bible.
What is
In
the
verse
conclusion of the matter?
Okay, well, finish it.
Oh,
Here.
finish it up, finish it up. Here, let him finish it.
Hosea 1:11. Then shall the children of Judah and the children of Israel be gathered together.
Be doing what?
So then shall the children of Judah and the children of Israel be gathered together.
That's
So
right.
when the Lord does the gathering, He's going to gather all 12 tribes at the same time. Now, did that happen in 1948? Were all 12 tribes gathered at the same time?
God, no.
None of the tribes were gathered at
No.
all in 1948.
They can't even tell you which tribe they're from.
Exactly.
They struggle with that point.
Right, you ask them what tribe, you're Jewish? Well, Shalom, what tribe are you from? They look at you like a deer to hit,
Huh?
deer in the headlights.
So like
What?
yeah, when I used to do Uber, I've picked up many so-called Jewish people, and that's not even something I think they're taught.
No.
No, they're
They're
not.
not even taught about the tribes. And honestly, I never thought about the tribes until I learned the truth. And if you really truly read this Bible, you can't help but to question who are these people.
Who are the Israelites?
Yeah.
Of course.
Most of them are atheists.
There's no end to all the people, as the scriptures say. You know, so there's no nation that's not amongst us from ancient times to today. You know, because God is not a liar, and and His word that goes out will not come back void. So anything He say must come to pass.
Hallelujah.
Right. So let me finish. So then shall the children of Judah and the children of Israel be gathered together and appoint themselves one head. So who's going to be the head?
Judah. No, the Most High.
Yahushua.
So Yahushua.
Yahushua.
You see?
So you're going to
That's
put
what
themselves
you're
The
one
problem with
head.
this Judah thing.
Yeah.
Judah gonna be.
Oh, so like,
Judah real quick, Judah.
You done? You done?
Oh, no, not yet. Israel.
You know Ephraim gonna be running
I
this,
was
man.
fine with that. I'm fine with it.
Ephraim-
You know Ephraim gonna be running this, bro. Let's just relax, all right?
Salakia. No,
The
no,
Judah
no.
spirit overpowers them.
So it says, and they
Down
shall
with you.
come out of the land, for great shall be the day of Jezreel.
So like I got a precept. That's Ezekiel chapter 37, verse 19. Say unto them, thus said the Lord God, behold, I will take the stick of Joseph, which is in the hand of Ephraim, and the tribes of Israel his fellows, and will put them even with the stick of Judah, and make them one stick,
That's
and they
right.
shall be one in mine hand.
That's right.
Hallelujah.
That's right. So they're gonna be one,
Yeah,
one in the hand.
one nation under Yahushua,
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
How we get there?
keeping the
Following
commandments.
commandments.
Keeping these law, statutes, and
You want to pull
commandments.
that
Hallelujah.
precept?
So what's the conclusion of the matter?
Fear God and keep
Yeah,
that
keep
commandment.
It's funny that you
Says-
said that. Oh, God,
Go ahead.
Salakia. We were talking about the Jews, right? There's only one people in this world right now, besides Judah, that proclaims that they are Jews.
That are
And
Jews.
the Bible clearly says that they're lying, that
Yeah.
they're the synagogue of Satan.
Who are the people claiming to be Jews?
Right.
Bring it out.
It's them.
It's funny.
The Revelations.
I got it right here.
3:9.
2 and
And it's 2 and 9 too as well.
Yeah.
It's both of them.
It says, I know thy works and tribulation and poverty, but thou art rich, and I know the blasphemy of them which say they are Jews and are not, but are the synagogue of Satan.
That's right.
Quick precept. This is how you know, because the scriptures actually prophesy that will happen. Ezekiel 7:21. This is how you know the Jews that are over there are not the real Jews. So this is Ezekiel 7:21. And I will give it into the hands of the strangers.
Look it over here.
Whatever.
Keep going.
And I will. So it's talking about Jerusalem. And I will give it to the hands of the strangers for a prey, and to the wicked of the earth for a spoil, and they shall pollute it.
Con. So the fake Jews that are occupying the land of Israel, they are strangers. They are not the indigenous people of the land. It says it also in Ezekiel 36, I think it is.
I got a precept for that too. Jeremiah 16 and 19. This is book of Jeremiah, chapter 16, verse 19. O Lord, my strength and my fortress and my refuge in the day of affliction, the Gentiles shall come unto thee from the ends of the earth and shall say, surely our fathers have inherited lies, vanity, and things wherein there is no profit. That's what's happening in these days today. You're starting to realize they are not the people. You know what I'm saying? There's videos out there.
There's
videos
numerous
of Edomites
videos.
on YouTube
Yep.
and Facebook proclaiming who the true Jews are.
Yeah.
They are so-called rabbis of the Jewish of
Jewish
Judaism
people.
that's renouncing it. And what people don't realize is that the people that live in Israel today are not people that follow Judaism. They follow
The Talmud and
the Talmud,
the
and
rabbis.
they are called Zionists amongst amongst what we call Orthodox Jews of our people of America. And a lot of them live here in America. They are not welcome in Israel because they acknowledge the Messiah, and those that live in Jerusalem and Israel right now today do not acknowledge the Messiah. They say that he's alive and walking around. Some sects of them say he's alive. He lives in New York, and some of them say that he's not. He has come and left already, and so they don't follow. And some of them don't even believe in him at all.
They don't think he's the Messiah.
And how can it be the Holy Land if they're having a gay pride parades?
That's right.
Yearly, the largest one in existence.
world, right.
Yeah.
How can that be the promised land, huh?
So I mean, the Israelites was, when we read the Bible, the Israelites was
Crazy.
kicked out of the land for being wicked.
Yeah.
So how could they be allowed in the land now when they're having promoting sodomy and homosexuality lifestyles? That don't make sense.
That don't make no sense at all.
Right.
And I want to bring this passage out. This is Ezekiel 36:5. It says, "Therefore thus says Yahweh Elohim, surely in the fire of my jealousy have I spoken against the residue of the heathen, and against all Idumea." Check this out. "Which have appointed my land into their possession, with the joy of all their hearts, with despiteful minds, to cast it out for a prey." So Idumea is the Greek word for Edomites. So Esau appointed the Holy Land Israel for their possession, and that's who's occupying Israel. Edomites are, which is the fake Jews.
Damn.
And
That's clear.
Salakia, and the scriptures also say that when the true Jews are in the land, there will be peace.
Peace.
There has never been peace as long as they've been there.
Yeah.
Since as long as from the time they've stolen that land in 1948, according to the Balfour
There's
Proclamation.
been wars.
You know, so it's always been wars, it's always been conflict to this day. You know, as it says in Exodus, how Amalek will be continual war with Amalek forever, and that it also says in the scriptures that it will be a burdensome stone that Islam will be a burdensome stone to anyone but the true people that to inhabit that land.
And let me bring out that precept about peace that Yakim was talking about.
Yeah.
This is Isaiah chapter 60, verse 18. This is what's going to be in the kingdom when the Most High's chosen people will return. "Violence shall no more be heard in thy land, wasting nor destruction within thy borders. But thou shalt call thy walls salvation and thy gates praise."
That's right.
He's not going to worry about no Palestinians intruding in the land and setting car bombs or terrorist acts. He's going to be peaceful with the Lord tells people to come back in the land.
Calm.
Sorry about that.
Sorry?
No, I'm walking by. I see some horses saying there was an accident. Yeah, I didn't see those.
Oh.
Come out. I know that there was a white car there. I mean, so I don't know.
That sucks.
Salakia. I also got a precept right now. I mentioned how Jerusalem will be a burdensome stone for anyone that try to inhabit that land. It was a burdensome stone for the Palestinians when Amalek came in. It's what we call the so-called Jewish people today, because to this day they're still being persecuted, and it's a burdensome stone for Israel, because all the nations in that area, from Iran to Iraq to Saudi Arabia, you know what I'm saying, have an issue with them. They actually pay like Hezbollah and other ISIS type fighters, you know what I'm saying, to attack that land, and they sponsor, that's what I'm looking for.
Right,
They sponsor terrorism in that land because they know, they acknowledge that they are not the people that's supposed to be there. And this is that scripture. This is Zechariah chapter 12, verse 3. "And in that day will I make Jerusalem a burdensome stone for all people," not some, all people, "all that burden themselves with it shall be cut in pieces, though all the people of the earth be gathered together against it." And that's like that harmons back to that scripture I was putting frame about all the nations in Revelation coming against the land of Jerusalem.
Right.
You know, even in America, the so-called KKK, a racist Edomite organization, espouse a hatred for the so-called Jewish man. And that's a so-called Christian organization.
Yep.
So They don't just hate the Negro, they hate the so-called Jewish man as well.
And what is the conclusion of the matter?
Fear God.
Fear God and keep them
Keep His
keep them commandments, man. You'll get through all this stuff that's going on in life. You ain't got to burden yourself with all this extra stuff.
John 8:32. You
Yep.
know? You shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free.
That's right.
You know?
This is the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 12, verse 13. Let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter.
Yeah.
Fear God and keep His commandments, for this is the whole duty of man. For God shall bring every work into judgment.
No, every faith.
Every work into judgment with every secret thing, whether it be good or whether it be evil.
Dang.
So like we don't want to since we are talking about the Russian icon exhibit and all, but we don't want to overlook the fact that today is the Day of Atonement.
Hallelujah.
And we're observing that